God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Welcome to the final week of the July Anger Cure, where I will be looking at the idea of radical acceptance. Whilst the term is quite modern, the concept is ancient and not particularly radical. It is summed up very nicely by the Serenity Prayer, as I quoted at the start of the video, often used in 12-step programs. It is also very similar to Buddhist ideas on the nature of suffering. The term radical acceptance was popularized by Marsha Linehan, the developer of dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT, which is commonly used to treat borderline personality disorder, amongst other conditions. I believe the ideas in DBT, including radical acceptance, are very useful to managing anger. Much of our suffering, including anger, comes from wanting the world to be other than it is. When we experience things as wrong, we ask ourselves, why me? We say this shouldn't happen, or it's not fair, or this is not the way it should be. However, this thinking does not change the situation. Instead, it simply stops us accepting the reality of the situation, and therefore acts as a block from taking action to change things. Rather than stopping our suffering, our failure to see the concrete reality actually causes us further suffering. Imagine that you talk with an apartment manager about leasing an apartment in a popular complex that is completely full. He agrees to call you when the two-bedroom apartment is available. You wait for months, then stop by to check with him, and when you arrive, he is signing a lease agreement with a couple for the two-bedroom unit. When you confront him, he shrugs. That shouldn't happen. It isn't fair, but it did happen. One of my favorite modern writers, Haruki Murakami, says that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. By not getting your hoped for apartment, you may involve some pain and loss. You may feel sad. But whether or not you suffer depends on your reaction to the situation. If you choose to dwell on the situation and how unfair it is, you will probably continue to suffer for some time. This is linked to you choosing not to accept the reality that the apartment has been leased to someone else. By refusing to accept this and wanting things to be different, you continue to suffer. Alternatively, you have the option to radically accept that you have missed out on the lease. Radical acceptance is about accepting life on life's terms and not resisting what you cannot or choose not to change. Radical acceptance is about saying yes to life simply as it is. The difficulty with this approach is that it goes against our inherent desire to avoid pain. Part of radical acceptance means accepting that sometimes life does not go the way we want it to, and that might be painful. It is important to note that radical acceptance does not mean we approve or agree with any given situation. It simply means we accept it as our current reality. Whilst we cannot change the past or the present, we can change the future. There are three major blocks to radical acceptance when it comes to anger. The first, I don't want to let them off the hook. Holding on to your anger can seem like you are punishing the offending person, whoever it was that did a wrong to you. As long as you are angry with them, they aren't getting away with it, or so your mind thinks. Your anger serves as a marker, a memorial almost of their actions. If you let go of your emotions and radically accept it, then it can seem like it never happened. And that sounds good. The problem is that it doesn't really work that way. When someone has treated you unfairly, he either knows it or he doesn't. If he recognizes his actions were unkind, then your anger simply serves to distract from his facing his own failings and guilt. If the person doesn't recognize their unkindness, then your anger changes nothing. Your anger will not teach another person about compassion and kindness or respect for others. Number 2, accepting means I agree, and I will never agree. I think the problem here perhaps is the word accept often means approving of something or agreeing with someone, such as accepting a job offer means agreeing to take the job. Radical acceptance does not mean you are agreeing to a situation or action. It means you are acknowledging that the event happened and is real. Acceptance means not fighting reality. There are many ways to fight reality, including dysfunctional behaviors such as drinking and taking drugs. Thirdly, I need to be angry to protect myself. You hear this a lot in the Facebook group. Radical acceptance can seem very risky to some people. Anger, withdrawal, and resentment can seem like an armor to protect yourself. You may be seeking safety from the person who hurt you. Perhaps you forgave too easily without maintaining the appropriate boundaries around you to stop that person from hurting you again. When you accept the situation as it is, you open up new solutions for future behavior. You move to a problem-solving mode. Practicing radical acceptance can be very difficult, but the relief from suffering that results can be worth the effort. So that's it for this month. From next month, I will be doing a couple of modules that explore the ideas and concepts of transactional analysis in greater depth. And I will be introducing some of my favorite ideas, such as the ego state model and the drama triangle. Until next month, goodbye.